Alright, welcome back. I actually managed to get a full recording of one of these races. I've just been having the worst camera issues here lately. Fifth into the woods here, and I actually think I managed to maintain fifth for the entirety of the first lap, which is pretty good for me. But yeah, the first 3 rounds of this series this year, the first one I forgot my camera. The second one, I forgot the clip for my camera. The third one, I broke the mount off of my helmet on the second one, so I had to run a chest mount. I'm actually still running the chest mount. And then this one actually isn't perfect because I forgot to change my field of view settings, so they're a little too narrow, but the footage was still salvageable, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a commentary for the video. But yeah, round 4, had a lot of fun at this property. The track was laid out really well. For the most part, I enjoyed all of it. There were only a couple sections that I really didn't care for. But other than that, it had a little bit of everything, and it was actually really fun. The interesting thing is this race was like maybe 13 minutes from my house. So it's like by far the closest race I've ever been to. I just wish all of them could be like that because that was super awesome. So coming up, there's this little up and downhill section that we go through, and this got changed a lot by I think the third lap. You can see because we go up a little bit, and then we kind of go back down and around, and then we go up again, and that whole section there basically got cut out. So when we go up the first time, we just went all the way up, and I don't know if that was because someone just cut in a hotline, or if it was because they specifically made that change. I suspect it might have been on purpose because I think a lot of the beginner riders were having trouble with these hills, and things were getting kind of bottlenecked. And to be fair, those hills, especially when your hands start to get worn out back to back like that, they can be a little rough. Struggled a bit in that corner there. This hill right here was super awesome because you could just hit it wide open. I had a lot of fun with it. Although I think on my third lap I just about lost the handlebars going up it, so that was a little sketchy. This right here was one of the fastest sections on the track. It was just a wide open straightaway. But it was a little deceiving because while it was nice and wide open through this section, you get to the bottom here and there's a little bit of a dip right here, which can catch you if you're not careful. And then right past the dip is a little slalom. So it caught me off guard a couple times. It caught me going a little too fast and I almost wasn't able to check up in time.
Oh, slick.
And another little open spot heading into probably what was my least favorite part of the track, if I'm honest. And it's not because it's a bad section. It's really tight and rooty and stuff like that. And normally I would have loved a section like this, but when you're in a race and your hands are or your arms are pumped up real bad, this kind of stuff is just tough to navigate. So I struggled with it a little bit due to that, but other than that, I liked it. I liked all the line choices through here. There's a lot of crisscrossing, intersecting lines that you could take. So this spot down here by the creek was probably my favorite of the whole track. It was just nice and flowy. There were some dips like this little dip here, and there's some sand whoops that got pretty egged out by the end of the race. But yeah, right here, this section got kind of rough towards the end. But I don't know. I just really like this spot. It's nice and flowing, and it's fun. It's really fun. So this was the other spot that I didn't like on this track, and it's like a really sharp dip through a gully, but there's actually a line to the left that kind of follows the gully a little bit that was much better, and I figured that out I think on my third or fourth lap, and I started taking it instead, and it was a much better line. When going through that gully, just every time I felt like I was gonna go over my handlebars because of how steep the entrance of it was. It probably wasn't that bad if you actually went and looked at it, but it felt crazy steep on the bike. So as you can see, that's it for the first lap. It's a pretty short track. I think it was only like 3 or 3.5 miles, but like I said, it had a lot of fun sections to it. Here we're on the fourth lap, and I think this is where, yeah, I finally take that left line through the gully. Yeah, so this was a much better way to go. And then you had this little short climb on the way out. That tree on the right was kind of close, but it honestly wasn't that bad. It was a much better line overall, though. I got kind of held up by this guy for a little bit. And it's more to do with me not being good at passing than anything else. Certainly wasn't his fault. You can see I'm trying to find a way to get around him. I just don't have the ability to commit to one. I tried to get him in this corner right here, but there's these big roots that are like super slick. So I was trying to take it easy, and then finally I get around him right here. So here we are, last lap, and at this point I was really feeling the arm pump. Like, my arms pumped up so bad on this first moto that I thought they were going to explode out of my jersey. You could tell just by how easy I'm taking it. I had like almost no grip strength left. I was really afraid that I was going to lose the handlebars on some of this terrain. And here you can see, like I mentioned, this left line basically cut out that first little up and down. So we go all the way to the top instead of going up, down, then back up. I got caught behind this guy for a little bit, but I saw this line to the right here, so I just tucked around him real quick. And this happened a few times. Bit of a bottleneck on this hill. That time it went that bad, but yeah, that was probably the worst spot for bottlenecks, was that the bottom of that hill. Dip around this guy on another hotline. Managed to do that twice in a row. Alright, so this is toward the end of the 5th lap here, just finishing up. I heard a bike behind me, and this guy comes by, and I thought that was it. And then out of nowhere, my buddy Kane, like, scrapes my elbow coming by. He said he was trying to pass me pretty close just to mess with me, but he lost the back end as he was coming around that corner and nearly hit me. Scared the crap out of me. Thought I was gonna beat this guy through the gully, but he managed to get around me.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was it for the first moto. 5 laps all in all. Like I said, I didn't feel that great, and my arms pumped up pretty bad. I ended up 13th out of 19 for that moto. So yeah, not the best. All right, jumping straight into Moto 2 here. I felt like off the line I got a much better start, as you'll see. Feeling pretty good, and then I don't know what happened. Literally everyone passed me coming into the woods. Like here I'm in like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and it just gets worse. 9th. I think I ended up 11th into the woods, which is just awful. And then actually ended up by the end of this lap in 14th, I think, and weirdly I held 14th for the entire race. I didn't move any positions, so I guess I found my spot and just camped out in it. Overall, I felt much better this moto, but I guess, like I said earlier, I guess everybody just feels better on the second moto. So even though I felt better, I did worse, which is so weird. And that's just how it seems to be for every single one of these races. Like, I guess I do better when I'm not as fresh, or it doesn't really make sense at all to me. But I guess when I'm playing against a field who's all not fresh, I do better not fresh than other people tend to do. But then when everyone's nice and warmed up and ready to go, I do worse than they do. It's kind of bizarre, but... So this left line got burned in pretty good, but honestly, I didn't like it as much because it crossed over the other line, like right as soon as you get up the hill. So I ended up taking the longer way every time. I don't know. Maybe I should have just manned up and taken the other line, but I was afraid I was gonna hit somebody. That's Cooper there passing me, and actually we were really close in points, and he beat me this moto, but I think I got him on the first moto. But yeah, he did a lot better than me this moto. That's my buddy Austin too that just passed me there on the taking that left line. This little hotline here of the walls got burned in, and I took it the first 3 laps, I think, but it kind of got sketchy after the second lap, so I stopped taking it. But it was pretty interesting to see that. Somebody must have really been sending it in the AB race. Dropping down into the tight section for the first lap on this second moto, I was really happy to see that it had gotten burned in a little better from the previous AB moto. The ruts were a little less of an issue the second time around, so I felt a little more confident coming through here.
That way sucks. I'll do that again.
This whole section down here by the creek was much more egged out for the second moto, but overall it was still my favorite part.
What's a bit rough?
So we'll go ahead and skip ahead to my third lap because I thought this was really awesome right here, down by that creek section. I hear a two-stroke behind me, so I kind of take the inside line, and look at this guy right here, man. If you ever want to feel bad about your skills on a bike, just watch him. Good lord.
Woo! That boy is killing it. I do feel like a slug.
So coming into the third lap, I noticed there wasn't a white flag out, so I figured it was going to be another 5-lap race. But it was actually my last lap. They shortened it to 4 laps, so that was pretty surprising when I came back around and saw the checkered flag. Did you see that? I didn't notice it until I edited the video, but that kid like poked at my bike with a stick. I mean, maybe that's not what he was trying to do, but it really seems like he was trying to poke my bike with a stick. I don't think he actually hit it, but yeah, that was a bit weird. I didn't notice it until I was editing the video. I really like the way that kid hopped that little hill right there. I didn't do that the entire race. I just kind of eased down it, but he just hopped straight through it. That was awesome. Yeah, those whoops got really bad right there towards the end. I mean, they weren't awful, but they were a lot worse than they were when we started. The braking bumps right here in particular, that was really rough towards the end. And right here, I almost went into the creek. I stopped paying attention for just a second and I nearly went over. So yeah, second moto, I felt a lot better, but unfortunately didn't do quite as good. But overall, man, it was an awesome day, and I got to see quite a few of my friends from Mid-East, so it was good to catch up with everybody and just hang out and race again. Any day I'm out there racing is a good day. Oh, check this out. So this guy right here is on a KO K6. That's a Chinese competition bike. So KO and GPX have started making like proper competition dirt bikes, and they're really cheap compared to like a proper Japanese or European bike. I wish I would have had a chance to talk to the guy and ask him how he liked it, because I'm honestly really interested in getting one of those just to check them out. They seem like they're legit. I've watched a few YouTube videos on them, and everyone seems to have good things to say about them. But man, if if that's true, I mean, that's going to be a game changer for people getting into the sport. Because cheap bikes, that's, you know, it's going to open the door for so many more people to actually participate, and that's always a good thing. But that's it. That was the entirety of the race. Didn't do so good on this last moto, as you can see. And then overall, I think I was 36. So not the best race, but man, like I said, still had fun. Thanks for watching, guys.